Hello all, I'm William Handel, I'm the Director General for Naaman 49, and I'm here with...
I'm Michael Lepeshalo, I'm one of the two chairs for the Weimar Republic National Assembly.
And I'm Nora Hajar, the other chair for the Weimar Republic.
Alright, and would you care to introduce yourselves and what you do at Georgetown to the delegates?
Okay. As I said, my name's Michael. I recently served as Secretary General of Naaman's sister conference for college students. I'm a junior in the School of Foreign Service, majoring in international political economy, focused on international development, and I spend a lot of time doing Model UN. I do some stuff for the Georgetown Journal of International Affairs, and I'm really, really excited for Naaman.
And I'm a senior in the School of Foreign Service here at Georgetown. I have one semester left. This is my last year at Naaman, sadly, but it is also my fourth year, so it's been a great time. And my major is international politics here at Georgetown, so I'm excited to meet you guys.
Alright, and why are you guys doing Naaman this year?
Well, Nora and I have a history of Naaman together. Because last year she was USG and I was DUSG of General Assemblies. So the idea of doing another big committee together was too good to pass up.
We had to do it.
But, I started doing Model UN my junior year of high school, and I remember going to my first conference, and it was an African Union simulation, and I remember walking in and just being absolutely floored by how awesome it was, and, I'm now studying African development. It really, made me realize what I wanted to do, with my professional life, and, it's a ton of fun from the staffing perspective, and it's great to be able to give that back to the delegates.
Yeah. I started Model UN in high school in 9th grade, and I was really enchanted by it. It was something that I enjoyed a lot, and so when I got to Georgetown, the IRC was one of the first things I sought out, and that ended up being staffing Naaman, and this year being able to run our own committee. So, and we're really excited about Germany, and we'll talk more about why we chose the Weimar Republic.
Alright, speaking of which, why did you choose that?
Well, so I was really excited for this committee because I studied Germany a lot in high school, and this was a period of time that is of great interest because it's so strange, so there were so many issues of inflation and deciding how to run Germany after the war. Reparations were a huge issue, and mostly it was a strange time in terms of government and also art and culture, and so it was a span of 10-15 years that went crazy but also produced some really unique moments for Germany, which time and again kind of rise, and so we wanted something, that could focus on that era and, in full German spirit. It's very serious, but a little fun.
Yeah. No, it's described as one of the most dynamic periods and places in human history in terms of science, art, culture, government, and plenty of good and plenty of bad, which just makes it really interesting. And then something else, the committee is set at the end of 1923, which is after the hyperinflation crisis and well before the Great Depression, the stock market crash, which really sent Germany into a tailspin. And something that we really wanted to focus on was that, the Weimar Republic wasn't just hyperinflation and the rise of the Nazi Party. It wasn't just a basket case with nothing else to speak of. It was a major world power. It was a really fascinating one, and we wanted you guys to be able to look at the problems it faced, but not just the major ones that you already know about. But, why did this country eventually, go off the rails, and is there something that maybe could have been done to stop that?
Alright, and along that vein, can you reveal to our viewers anything about what to expect from the weekend ahead?
Well, make sure you know about Germany, and make sure you learn about this specific time period, because it's very important to us. Expect something a little bit different than your usual GA, your usual large General Assembly. It'll be probably more dynamic. A lot will go on. No crises, but definitely we'll change it up a little bit.
Yeah, compared to your standard big committee, these topics are more focused because it is just talking about Weimar Germany, just talking about issues within it rather than like arms control in the world or something like, a global issue. So, the background guide's long, it's pretty well written, but we really want you to step outside and do some research of your own because, you're going to have to know quite a bit about these topics to really be able to participate well. And we'll be strict. We don't want to see people wildly off policy. We want to see, good discussion of the Weimar Republic. So, it's going to be a little bit more focused, and I think the debate will be a little bit more concrete than your everyday General Assembly.
Yeah, and you guys seem to definitely be very well prepared for this committee, so speaking to the delegates, what are you looking for in an ideal delegate for the simulation?
Well, I think the best thing would be for a delegate to, know the basics of this time period, especially in Germany. So do a little research on the history, and then from there just get creative in terms of, what type of government would you like to see, what, try to think a bit outside the box in terms of ways to solve some of the huge problems that we discussed in our background guide, and that you'll soon be researching. And to just bring kind of some ingenuity and, a bit of imagination, I think, is useful on this committee versus this is the policy and this is where we're going. This is a place where you can be creative as well.
Yeah, our background guide lays out a lot of the background and a lot of the problems and gives you a lot of sort of the knowledge you need to discuss it, but we don't talk a lot about what solutions you guys should be thinking about, and that's where we want you to come in.
Yeah, definitely.
We bring up, here are the countries you have to keep in mind, here are the issues you have to keep in mind, but we do want to see some interesting original planning. And then, from my perspective, I think we want to see delegates that definitely know what their political party represents, what their region represents, and have interests, but also are willing to compromise. It's really frustrating when you either see delegates who really don't know what they're supposed to be representing and aren't on policy and don't have an idea about what their bloc is supposed to fight for, but then also when you see delegates who are totally inflexible about it. So, we want to see people somewhere in the middle so that it's a realistic debate, but also one that, comes to fruition well.
Yeah.
Awesome. And as a final point, can you guys share with the delegates a favorite memory you had from David's in the past?
Well,
We spent a lot of time at David together in the past.
you can do yours first, then.
All right. Well, my favorite would have to be, so last Naaman, Nora and I were in charge as USG USG of the College of Cardinals simulation, and the chair is an awesome guy, one of our good friends, and logically enough, we have him die of a heart attack at some point during the committee, and he ran out to, I don't remember, we said he was going to the bathroom or something, and then we had some friends of ours carry him in while he pretended to be dead. I was singing in Latin, Nora was pretending to cry. Their director presided over him with like a little funeral rite, and it was, for one, it went really well, and for two, it was absolutely hilarious.
Hilarious. The entire, anyone in the
It was super
radius
serious.
of the committee.
It was completely serious until a final point during like the little funeral rite, and then everyone in the room cracked up.
It was crazy. And then mine also involves Michael, but we were in legal, and it was last day, and they had won in terms of fundraising for the charity, what is our charity this year?
Charity Water.
Charity Water. Okay, so we'll be raising money for Charity Water again this year, and hopefully Weimar actually will be our winner for GAs. That would be amazing,
Yeah.
so get ready for that. But last year it was legal that won for GAs, and so we had promised as part of the fundraising efforts to sing/dance. And neither of us, you can sing, I don't know, well, the song we promised was in Spanish. It's called La Despedida. My Spanish is not that great. I do have proficiency in the SFS for Spanish, so I technically do speak it.
But
it was probably questionable at that point. On top of that, I didn't know the lyrics. We printed them
I didn't
out.
really. And our microphone was broken.
And there was no sound. So it turned out to be us singing to, 150 delegates and chairs in like a silent room for a very, very long few verses. So maybe next year we won't promise any singing, but that was such a great highlight just because I guess it was funny in the end. It was okay.
It was, we were mortified, but it was hilarious.
It was hilarious. So we're looking forward to more, more memories for sure this year. And it is my last year, so I'm very excited for it.
All right, well, thank you both for your time. I look forward to seeing you at the conference.
Thank you.